Hi everyone. In this video, I will provide a trade update for each of the following stocks: CrowdStrike, Amazon, and AT&T. Last week, I made individual videos for each of these stocks, providing my own prediction of where they would be in the coming weeks. If you want to see how I did, then keep on watching. Come to Remora TC to trade like a shark and not get eaten by one. Let's school together to protect and grow our money. The first ticker is CrowdStrike. Here is the daily view. Last week, I discussed how CrowdStrike was sitting right here. It was sitting right at resistance. And the question was, did it have enough momentum and strength to break through this downward resistance line? Sure enough, you can see on the next day that not only did it break through this resistance line, but it gap filled immediately. My prediction last week was it would take the entire week to get through the gap fill. In fact, it broke through it the first day, ended essentially at the top of the gap with this big sell down candle on the subsequent day. A breakdown of this trendline support right here came back down, and then on Friday came right back up into this trendline resistance. Moving the screen over to the right, you can see that price is sitting at 103. Was the behavior as expected? Yes. The main point is it gap filled and it came down and found resistance here at this 99.73 area. Used it as support and sprung off it. Let's go to the hourly view to get a little bit more fidelity. Now the question is, what will this resistance line do? Will price in this rising wedge, and this is in fact a bearish pattern here, will price be able to break through and get past this resistance line? I don't see any change in the momentum from an RSI and a PPO standpoint. RSI is just upwardly trending, so is the PPO, and it is essentially in concurrence with the price action up here. So I feel the long setup is still there. We should watch how price behaves as it breaks through this key resistance line. And once it breaks through, it will use it as support and continue its upward movement. The end target for this move, this long setup, is here at 117. So this is CrowdStrike. This is where I think it's going. And in fact, I am long on this trade. I am in this trade. Here's Amazon. Last week in my video, I talked about this key zone of resistance. You can see it here between the 100 and the 103. And I said in the video, if Amazon could break through this downward trend line and this key area here, then I would feel that it had the bullish momentum to keep going and get through this gap fill area. My call last week was not that it was a bullish setup. I just said we had a possibility that if Amazon was able to break through all this resistance, then the opportunity to get through this gap was going to present itself. Now we can see that Amazon didn't even reach this zone, nor did it reach this downward trend line. The question then for this week is, how will price behave? Let's take a look at the hourly for a closer look. Here is Amazon on the hourly. Let's take a look at some key things. We've got this very clearly defined rising wedge. You can see on the hourly candles that price broke down underneath that wedge, consolidated, attempted to break through it, close right at resistance, and sold down with a engulfing bearish candle. Okay, so this red candle engulfs the prior green one, and price sold down. I feel what price is attempting to do is to retest this downward trend line. So it's the same setup from 1 week ago. Will price be able to break through this one, which is first resistance, and then get through this one, and this one? That's like 4 challenging areas. I think it's, to be fair, I think it's a weak setup. So my feel for Amazon in this coming week is that it won't be able to break through so many hurdles. So yeah, I think it'll fail and price will go down to 88, 86, maybe even 82 or down here to this other trendline support. All right, so for me, Amazon feels weak. The next ticker is AT&T. In last week's video, I pretty much explained that AT&T had a bearish setup. What I said was, likely AT&T would come up, hit this downward trend line right here, and continue downward to about 16. It'll probably bounce around, etc., but ultimately down to 16. What I didn't expect was for it to break down immediately. So what we can see here on the daily view is the price action broke down, and you can see the subsequent retest. Okay, so where is price going in this coming week? Let's go to the hourly chart and get a slightly better picture. So you can see this upward trendline resistance. Price retested it once, failed, came back up, and it's essentially doing a second retest. Retest 1, retest 2. The overall momentum remains downward. These annotations are from the daily view. From the hourly view, I don't see any change in momentum. It's the same, as in this action here is in concurrence with the price action. So it's not at all changing the momentum. I feel for this coming week for AT&T is the short setup remains in play. Lower prices are coming for AT&T. One of the key things you have to remember is that I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on YouTube. I just love reviewing charts, doing my technical analysis, predictions, and if you find that sort of information useful, please like and subscribe, and good luck with your trades.